can't stop yourself from eating those cookies, potato chips, snack foods, or pop. I'm Cora Naylor, emotion code practitioner, and I'm here tonight to do a quick demo for you on how you can get rid of those cravings. A lot of people are looking to, get rid of the sugar craving. But with the emotion code, which I'm going to be talking about tonight, we can do that with the specific food. So it's not just sugar in general. We have to have it down to a specific foods, potato chips, cookies, cakes, pastries, whatever your deal is. And we can get rid of those cravings in just a few minutes. As an example, I was working with a client a couple months ago, and she had some Bailey's filled chocolates at home and could not resist them. So after a session, she was able to walk past that cupboard and not eat those chocolates anymore and not feel deprived. And that's the main thing. I think a lot of people think once they kick this craving that they're going to feel deprived, but we get to do that without that. So let me just take a quick peek here. I'm just waiting to see if anyone's going to join on here and talk about it. I know we had a couple volunteers last weekend, and we're just waiting to see what's coming up. Here we go. Perfect. Dawn, you're here. Dawn was one of the volunteers last week, and we worked on her craving for chocolate peanut butter cups. How are you doing with that, Dawn? Maybe you can give us a quick comment on there. That would be awesome. And just to let everybody know, in a few minutes, I will be doing another 1 or 2 volunteers tonight. So if you have a specific food or drink that you would like to delete the cravings for, if you leave a comment, I'll pick up your comments in a bit. So while we're waiting for that, you might be just wondering, well, what the heck is the emotion code? The emotion code is a process that allows you to release negative trapped emotions. And there is a book written about it. If you want, you can check it out. It's The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. Oh, that's interesting. Let's just see if I can share that on here. I'm just going to show Dawn's comment on here. So Dawn's saying she's been fine with her cravings and even less over impulse to over eating when bored, which is interesting because we didn't touch on that, but that is something that we do go into quite a bit in depth with my 4-week weight loss plan, which I'll be talking about at the end. But thanks so much for joining us, Dawn. That's awesome to hear. Where are we here? Yeah, so back to the emotion code and what is it? How does it work? So it is a process for helping you to release trapped emotions as we go through time. Every time we have a negative event that happens to us and we don't process those emotions, they get trapped in our body like a ball of energy, and they could be all over our bodies. Sometimes that's why we have chronic pains. Might actually be some emotion that's attached to some of that, where it's neck pain or shoulder pain. So that can be part of it. And this is just a process that allows us to release those emotions. So I will just quickly go over how that works, and then we'll be checking in to see if we have some volunteers here. So the first thing we have to get started is the emotion code chart. I'll use the chart. I'll connect to your subconscious, and they figure the average adult has about 200 or 300 trapped emotions. So it's no wonder we can have an off day. And I find that a lot of the emotions get trapped from when we were kids. The cool thing is with this process, we don't have to do it in person. Most of my clients either work with me by video, phone call, or we can even do it through email. And the emotion code chart looks like this. You won't be able to read all of that on here probably, but there are 60 emotions on there. And let me just bring this up for 1 sec. Oh, here we go. Bring this on. There we go. Yeah, so I'll use a process to go through and figure out which of these emotions are causing our imbalance. And I do that by a process called muscle testing. So muscle testing allows me to connect to your subconscious. And there are various methods that you can use for doing the muscle testing. If you want, you can go on YouTube and Google that, because there's tons of different ways to do it. I do a ring method. So I just have my fingers like that, so they'll be intertwined. And when I'm going through the process, I'll be asking yes or no answer questions. And when it's a yes, it sticks, and it's no, it just slips right through. So that's how I'll figure it out. And like I said, it's always just yes or no answer questions. So that's the other kind of nice thing, is you don't have to give me a whole bunch of backstory. In fact, I prefer if I don't know it, because that way when I ask certain questions and I come up with the answers, you'll know, it's not gimmicky. And the way I do this by distance is by being your proxy. So that's what I need. And in order to be a proxy, I just need to get your permission. So you can't just go around performing the emotion code on anybody willy-nilly, although sometimes, you feel like you wish you could, but, we get the permission. If you're an adult, I'll just get the permission directly from you. When I'm working on kids, I'll get their permission from their parents. And when I'm working on animals, I'll get the permission from the owner. So, as an example, I'm outside the Vancouver area, and I worked on a lady's horse who was in Colorado. And it turned out that her horse was kind of bummed out because she wasn't being ridden enough. So these are kind of the things that we can find out when we do our muscle testing. So when we first get started with an issue, the first thing I want to do is find out what the severity is. So I'll rate the severity from a 1 to 10. And we can use it for things like aches and pains, bad habits, procrastinating, anxiety, seasonal allergies. So I do have a whole menu of items. And if you want to check that out, or you want some more information, just let me know and I can send you the menu so you can kind of see the types of things that we can do with the emotion code. And the way after we find the emotion code, the emotion on the chart, the next thing we do is we release it. And I release it by using a magnet. And it can be any kind of magnet. It doesn't have to be something super fancy. When we do that, we release it. It's kind of like erasing the strip on the back of your credit card. It just evaporates and goes away. And the way I do that is I use my emotion code chart as a magnet. It just could go on the fridge if I want it to. And I just swipe it over the governing meridian, which runs from your nose all the way down the back of your spine. So I just swipe it over here 3 times for most emotions. If it's an inherited emotion, we might have to swipe it for 10 times. And that just erases the emotion, and away it goes. But before I can get started, the one thing I do have to make sure is that I'm hydrated. So as the practitioner, I need to have some water, and that just helps the energy to flow between us better, because it's kind of like I'm connecting to your own personal Wi-Fi when I'm connecting to your subconscious. And in case you're wondering, I don't have any special skills for doing this. Anybody can learn how to do it. If you read Dr. Brad's book, you could learn how to do it on yourself, which is kind of a unique thing with this particular method, is you can use it for other people, but you can also use it on yourself. So I'm just curious if there's anybody out there that would like to have a session tonight. If you have a food craving, let me know. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. I see you on there watching. Awesome. Hopefully we'll see you out here one of these days. I know we had another friend on here. I think she put a comment on. She was actually in my program that I did here we go. See, I'll find her from yesterday. She was in my program that I did a couple months ago and left me a great review yesterday about her potato chips. I'm just going to read that out to you in case you did not see that. And she says, "Oh, thank you for all your help on my late night snacking, more specifically potato chips. It's been at least 7 weeks and I've had no cravings whatsoever. I may have been a bit skeptical at first, but now I'm a true believer." So that's so nice to hear. And thanks so much, Tammy, for that. It is amazing sometimes how simple it is. And oftentimes with emotions, it can be for food, it can be just 1 or 2 emotions. And that can be the thing that just triggers you to, eat those foods you don't want to eat. I know we're all generally trying to be healthier, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And we find ourselves going to certain foods and we're not even really sure why. Most of the time, it's because of something that happened to us when we were a kid. So I don't see anybody showing up on here right now, which is okay. So if you're watching the replay and you do have a craving of something you would like to do, just leave a comment and I can do that later. The other thing is, if you would like to know more, I am going to be running my 4-part weight loss series in June. It's 4 sessions. We'll be doing food cravings on every session. We do a lot around eating when you're bored or just mindless eating. You're just going to the fridge. You're not even sure why you're not hungry at all. The other thing we do is we add in eating more of the good things. So, eating more fruits and vegetables, drinking more water, exercising more, anything that you have around food just helps you to be able to be more in control of the food rather than the food controlling you. So if you do want more information about that program, if you can just comment with a yes below, that would be fantastic. And I will also leave you a little something here. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Here we go. And if you didn't want to wait and you want to book a session, want to see what this whole thing is about, I'll just leave the link up here on the screen. You can go to my website, book a time in my calendar, and that would be awesome. All right, folks. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Oh, thanks, Sherry. Nice to see you. Yes, that sounds great. I'll get some info off to you. So thanks for joining me tonight, everybody. I will be back again next week. For the month of May, we'll be continuing with the food cravings. And then next month, for the month of June, we're going to be going into relationships and heart walls. Because heart walls are something that can causes issues with relationships. If you find you're having issues with a specific person, family or friends, or you have employees or a boss or any kind of relationships, it may be possible that you have a heart wall. So we'll be working on those ones in June. So for now, everybody, we'll see you and have a good week. Bye-bye.